Okay, thanks for having me. My name's Gil Ortega. Is the mic working? Yeah? Okay. My background is in lead generation. My company that I built and sold recently was called Leads to Wealth, and this is the site here, leadstowealth.com. You can pop that up and you'll show you a bunch of things on Alexa. So this is the company I actually started before Leads to Wealth. Leads to Wealth came about in a partnership, and LeadSpring was, some of my bio will discuss about me starting over. I basically lost everything in the .com bubble bursting. I was a casualty, and so at the end of 2000, like December 2000, I was like broke on unemployment. Had previously, 2 years before that, had sold another lead company, a very small lead company that was all done through telemarketing. And I was called Beyond Profit, and it was not a big company, but it was a telemarketing, profiling people online and selling those leads. I sold that company. I invested in a 3D software company called Pixels 3D. And we, 2 years, had a great run. It was my first time on the computer. I learned the internet, and we lost our shirts at the end of the 2000 area when we were a Mac-only application. We had maxed out free advertising, and we needed to port, and we ran out of steam. We needed money, and it was going back into the garage. But that taught me a few things. And I went to Vegas and did nothing. And after 9/11, I eventually got forced into starting another lead company. And that was this company here, LeadSpring. This is a template that is up. If you ever visit this, leadspring.com. I didn't provide any inserts because I didn't know what I could really show and what I would be needing to show. But you can visit LeadSpring. I haven't updated since like 2002 and 2003. It's a $50 web template from Monster Templates or Template Monsters, and that's what started Leads to Wealth. I created a partnership with some young techies who were building a real-time lead delivery system for me. And just so you know, I don't think I mentioned it, but I service the network marketing industry. That's when I started LeadSpring, it wasn't that case. I was doing mortgage leads, insurance leads, any prepaid legal product leads, any kind of lead I could get, a campaign going through affiliate networks, I was doing those kinds of leads. We were doing it through email marketing back then. And I was hiring a lot of email publishers that honestly I didn't know, and I wasn't wise enough to really care if they were legit emailers. This was time, and it was like, yeah, you're legit, great, okay, let's go. So that obviously had its ups and downs when people were able to produce so much, and then they were dry, they couldn't produce. And what I was forced to do was learn how to generate leads online. And I went to ad tech. Everybody has not heard of ad tech. You need to go to ad tech. That's like the place where you can go meet everybody from Google, Yahoo, and everybody on down as far as media properties. And from there, I basically started buying banners. And I started buying through email publishers that had, like Cool Savings is a huge, predominantly women's membership site. You can they have 20+ million people. You could go there and buy, a specific demographic with a specific action and generate leads. I would essentially buy advertising and generate leads for my network marketing clients. And after a while, we started building systems. Very much like what Michael has shown with autoresponders. We decided not to build our own system. Instead, we decided to strategically partner with a company called Networks Online. And that company currently is still around. They have a lot of systems, maybe about 50,000 subscribers. and I accounted for a good, 70+% of the user base as far as recommending the systems. Now, for those of you who don't know what a system is, in terms of network marketing, like, it is a presentation system. It is an autoresponder system. It is what I call when we first launched our system, it was called CEO, or Wellness CEO was the very first system that we launched, which isn't around anymore. But it was a 26-minute flash video movie that we drove people to that had little cartoon characters giving a hotel presentation, 26 minutes. And we gave them a digital book as an incentive to go through it. About 5 minutes into the flash video, we gave them a decision. And the decision was, you don't have to go through the rest of this presentation. You can get your free offer, the free ebook right now, click here. Or if you want to watch the rest of the presentation, click here. So we were like a few minutes into it, we said we're going to qualify you. And believe it or not, so you could see how many people were watching the flash presentation, and it would dynamically send an autoresponder this way or this way, depending on what their action was. This was in 2003. That was like the biggest hit that we'd ever had. The leads were like smoking hot, and it was all we had to do was just get traffic to it now. And the problem that most distributors have is they don't know how to, they're learning thanks to systems like what you guys have got and other programs. They're learning how to generate their own traffic, but by and large, just a handful of years ago, distributors, they still have challenges, but especially 5 years ago, where social media wasn't as dominated, like the way it is now, and free advertising didn't dominate, they couldn't. It was all about buying leads. So I had this site, which was Lead Vendors, our example site, and this example site is how I sold leads. So I'll give you an explanation of this. When I would go to a top MLM distributor, I would show them what we do, the way that I bought media, the way that I would show them, like actually, show them behind the curtain on how my lead process, my lead generation would occur. And things like showing them the ads, showing them where they're running, things like the email creative or ads within networks. And they would actually see the cost associated with like going and buy, inside a big network. It's not cheap. You can go up, from 5,000 on up in buying media. So it was cost prohibitive for the leader to do that, and he didn't want to mess with the leads. So what we did is we created a private branded site that was whatever they wanted to call it. And it was a lead store where they could change the names of the leads. So when somebody Googled that lead type, it wasn't a different price, because we allowed that person, that MLM distributor with tens of thousands or sometimes hundreds of thousands of people underneath them, they could create this site, whatever brand they want, and we would be the support services to supply the leads, buy the media, do the returns of the leads, the customer service, everything. So we became their lead back office. And so the way I used to say, we'd put them in the lead business without having to get their hands dirty. And Matt knows a little bit about some of that. He dealt with us on the back end on some of the cases. And it was advantageous for people to just have this site. We brand it. People don't know they're associated with it other than they're recommending it. That's it. And I can tell you, as we grew this model, I would have hundreds of sites out on the internet with leaders that were pushing sites, and we would launch it with simply a conference call. And we'd get sometimes where we'd make $50,000 in sales immediately, and as the site grew, rolled out through their membership, every month we would pay some MLM distributors an extra $100,000 a month because of them referring just the leads, not including